Hey guys, this is Satya here, and I'm building this very awesome lab. It's a little lab, but with a lot of configurations, and I thought to share one portion of the lab with you guys. So that's what we going to do today. So basically, what we're going to do is configure um, VLANs and assign access ports, and basically that will be just for this LAN network. That's what we're going to do. As you can see, for this end of the network, this is already configured and this is working. So let's give this a try and see what happens here. So inter VLAN routing is going on with this router enabling inter VLAN routing. So these VLANs are all on their separate networks, but they are able to talk to each other because of the router. That is good. So what we're gonna do here is we're going to configure create VLANs and assign switch ports, and then I'll have these PCs pull their IP addresses from this router, which is also serving as a DHCP server. But that is another day's job. So let's do this. So I'm now going to configure basic security parameters like locking for telnet and console connections. So just going to configure, just gonna skip that and go straight ahead with the configuration of the VLANs and assign switch ports. So you want to enter global configuration mode, and within this mode, let's just give this switch a name. So want to do host name SW3. You can do 2. That should work. Okay. Next you can do to create VLANs. The steps are pretty simple. So you can do VLAN within this mode. You do VLAN. So for me, I have VLAN 2, so I'm gonna say VLAN 2 and hit enter. Now the next prompt is requesting for an identifiable name. So you can name it management, you could name it faculty, you could name it IT, but I'm just gonna name my VLAN 2. So you want to indicate name VLAN 2. That's it. Next VLAN 4. As you can see right here, VLAN 4. You enter name VLAN 4. Okay. VLAN, the next VLAN for my topology is 8. So VLAN 8. Name. Sorry. Name VLAN 8. That should be good. So we can exit out of there, and then we can check that out. Do show VLAN. So this is what we got: VLAN 2, VLAN 4, VLAN 8. Now next, we are going to assign ports to these VLANs that we've created. It's also an easy way to do it. So let's just do that. So as you can see here, I've already labeled which VLAN is going to be assigned which ports on the switch. So it's also make that easier for you and make your configuration easy, and also make your troubleshooting easy down the line. So for VLAN 2, I have switch ports 0 through 9 that I'm going to assign to VLAN 2. The same goes for VLAN 4. I do have switch ports 10 through 14 that I'm going to assign to VLAN 4. And for VLAN 8, switch ports 15 through 20. Our trunk link here, this link is going to be a trunk link, and on the switch is FO24, and on the router is FOO. So we're going to do that also just before we run out of time today. So you want to do to assign a particular VLAN to a switch ports. Basically, since these are all access switches, you want to assign because they pull traffic from the client onto the network. So basically, you're going to assign these ports as access ports. Okay. So what we're going to do, we want to do ranges, okay, since we got 0, 0, 0, 1 through 0, 9. So the best and the fastest way to do that, we do the range command. So interface range fa0/1, you do space, and then you do that, and then 9. Okay, now we are in the range mode, and then you want to specify switchport mode access. What this does is it tells the port that you are putting the switch, these ports, you are putting them in an access mode. Okay, there are a couple of modes that the switch can be in, and you want it to be in access mode. All right, so you do enter, and then you want to assign those ports to a VLAN. In my case, or in our case, is VLAN 2. So you do switchport more, or switchport access, switchport access, you do tab. Now this command assign all those ports to the VLAN you're going to indicate, so VLAN 2. all right, so all those ports are basically assigned to VLAN 2. As you can see, the active link here is F01. It went amber, and now it's going to go green. Let's do a fast forward, and then we're going to send this into green. Okay, there you go. Next, you do the same for all the other ports, and you should be totally fine. All right, so interface range fa0/ the next range of ports are 10 space that and 14. all right, you do enter, and then you indicate what sort of port this is. Switch port mode access. Okay, switch port access, those are the basic commands. Switch port access VLAN 4. So for switch port mode, you are telling the switch what sort of mode you are placing the switch in, and for switch port access, what sort of VLAN will access those ports. So basically, that's what those commands really mean in the mind of the router, in the mind of the switch. Sorry. Next, we'll do it for the auto VLAN, and that we should be totally on track to having this side of the LAN functional. So interface range fa0/15. Okay, through 20, as you can see right here. Okay, so through 20, you do enter, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 8. Okay, now you exit out of that. Let's do show VLAN. Okay, so as you can see here, VLAN 2, of all the ports that are assigned to VLAN 2, range from 1 through 9, and that's exactly what I intended to do. So port 0 through 9 for VLAN 2. all right, the same goes for VLAN 4. Ports 10, as you can see right here, through 14 goes for VLAN 4. And now the active port here is FA010, is our connector port at the moment, right? Now VLAN 8, our active port is 15, as you can see right here, FO015. That's our link for this VLAN. So for the port assigned within that VLAN is 15 through 20. Now by default, VLAN 1 has all other ports assigned to it. So right out of the box, Cisco switches are all assigned to VLAN 1, and VLAN 1 is the default and management VLAN. But for security purposes, Cisco recommend that VLAN 1 shouldn't be used as management VLAN. So IT professionals normally wouldn't use VLAN 1, because everybody knows VLAN 1 is management port. It's management VLAN, so it makes the job easier for attackers. Even though with assigning the management VLAN still doesn't guarantee security, but at least it makes the job a little harder for bad guys. All right, so for the ports remaining 21, 22, 23, and 24, 24 is assigned as our trunk port, but I haven't yet issued that command, so it's still part of VLAN 1. So let's do that and then see what happens. So conf, and then you want to do interface f80/24 switchport mode trunk. Okay, and then you want to do no short. That should be fine. Once we enter no short on the router, that should be up. So do show VLAN. So F80 is also part of the native VLAN, which is VLAN 1. So if we were to change the native VLAN here, then we'll have switchport 24 not part of VLAN, but as it stands, switchport 24 is in a trunking state, so that should also be easy. So let's now move to the router to turn this link on with just a no shot command. Because we are using sub interfaces, you wouldn't have to assign a gateway on the FOO interface on the router. This is a very simple configuration, so wouldn't have to do that. So F80/0 enter no short. That should turn it on right away. Next, I've already configured sub interfaces and configured this router as a DHCP server. So what we're gonna do, basically, we're just gonna pull our IP addresses from this DHCP server via the router. So we come here, go to IP configuration, you do DHCP. You should have an IP address within this range if all the configurations are right. This is staying too long, but there you go, it's successful. So as you can see, 192.168.2.0, that's the network. 192.168.2.11, 2.11 is the first available IP address to this network, because I excluded IP address range 1 through 10 within a DHCP server, so this is fine. Let's test this out. For VLAN 4, we do the same for VLAN 4. We should pull our IP address from the DHCP server, which is also our router. So there you have it, 4.11, 255.0, 192.168.4.1 is our gateway. So that's also nice. Finally, let's pull our IP address for this client right here. So you do desktop IP configuration DHCP, and we should also be able to pull our IP address from this for this network. So 192.168.8.11, 255.255.255.0, 192.168.8.1. So that is just nice. Now we could ping to test it out. Since we do have a router, so we will have indoor VLAN communication. Normally the first one do fail, so with all the VLAN, that should be successful. There you go. So let's do that again. Successful. All right, that is nice. Now another thing that we want to do is to finally test this out, let's add another client and add him within, right, assign a port within the range of VLAN 2 and see what happens. So we want to come here, pull this client right here. Oh, where did he go? There you are. Pull a client right here and we're gonna pull an IP address from the DHCP server. But we're just gonna, this one doesn't need any configuration. So basically on the network, you can just add a client to the network and place them directly within their VLANs settings. So switchports 1 through 9 are assigned to VLAN 2. So that's what we're gonna do. So if I assign this client to VLAN 2, we should have this PC and this PC sharing the same addressing. So let's test that out and see what happens. This should be just nice, but it's staying too longer than real. So 192, I'm putting my address from a paper. Let's do this again and see what happens. Sometimes the delays do happen during if you just add a device to an existing network, but this doesn't look good at all. Okay, so I'm still putting my IP address from, I'm still getting a paper address, which should indicate that there's not a connection from our DHCP server. But normally we should be able to pull an address from our IP from our DHCP server. So let's do show VLAN. Okay, so VLAN 2, I do have switchport 2 within this VLAN, so that should be just right. Let's try this again. For some reason I'm not getting an address from, there you go. All right, sometimes if you add a new device to the network, it has to go through all of the app requesting and all the handshakes and everything. So that's why sometimes we experience those delays. So 192.168.2.12, 255.255.0, 192.168.2.1. So like I said, they are all within the same VLAN. So just to give you a glimpse of how to configure VLAN and assign switch ports. In the next lab, I'm going to configure IP OSPF. So we'll have this, my ISP router, and these are all my edge routers for my LAN network. So we'll have IP OSPF running between these routers to have inter VLAN routing going on. But for the moment, I'd like to thank you. Please subscribe to my channel and kindly leave me all your comments, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you.